2014, yes.
Yeah, but I gather like in 4 years probably some things, if not many things, have changed.
Well, to tell you the truth, maybe yes. Seeing the movie now, I can tell you that things have changed or places are closed, but the real soul of the people of Genoa, I have to say, is still the same. For example, there is a shot there that's 7.5 minutes. I'm very proud of it because it's a long traveling shot. Piano sequenza, we say in Italiano. And there is an office that was, Don Gallo was involved with it about right in the center of transvestite, Muslim and Catholic. I don't know if you remember. Now that place, unfortunately, is closed. It's closed because the city of Genoa, the mayor, wanted to close it. But the get up, the organization is still alive. So in 4 years, it's very true, Genoa changed a few things, but the real soul of Genoa has not changed really.
And the city still doesn't have a mosque?
Still is, of course, no mosque at all, yes. Nothing really changed from that time. Maybe, as I say, some place has moved, something, or some people is dead, unfortunately, but the real essence of Genoa's people and Genoa's aimlessness is still around. Aimlessness, probably you know that. Lei è mezza genovese, ragazzi.
So it seems to me that you were trying to capture, like you just said, the soul of the city, the spirit of the city. So, in your opinion, has it always been such a mixed, heterogeneous, very multicultural, very tumultuous city?
Yes.
Or is this something new with the more recent immigration waves and multiculturalism in Europe, or has it always been very, very different, very chaotic, very, you know?
No, I would say this is another thing that probably will not change. Of course, all the world has changed or blown up the fact that we are coming from different cultures, we are coming from different religions, and there are, as we well know, fight in the last few years about Muslim and Catholic and everything. But I have to say that when Genoa was big, and when Genoa was a port that had a lot of money and this and blah blah, I said before, I would say that there was still a place where everybody was trying to come. Like in any port, like Naples, like Rotterdam, like London, like the ports are a magnet for people to come.
Yes.
So obviously Genoa has still that. And still I think that is not much changed in the spirit, but maybe I'm wrong. You think that has been changed, you think that is, I mean, do you know Genoa? Or
I
do you
don't know
think
Genoa, but I'm thinking in my mind, because I know well in France, I know, let's say for example, Marseille.
But Marseille is a very typical example, I mean,
Yeah.
fighting with Genoa to be the capital of the
Yeah,
Mediterranean.
but to me, in my most recent
Of
trip
course.
to Marseille, to me, Marseille is not as seedy looking as Genoa. To me, you picked out really shanty kind of areas in Genoa. To me, Marseille, even though it's a port city as well, is not as shabby, I'd say.
I understand.
Yeah.
I respect your opinion. I have not been to Marseille for a long time, so I don't know the change. Genoa is really, I'm seeing the film, I've not seen the film for a while, so seeing it like all of it, I have to say that it's still mostly the same. With its shabbiness, with all strange things, and with its transvestite or whatever. I mean, the area of transvestite, the same area that was transvestite when I was a kid, when I was going there. So I am 70, so 50 years ago, 55 years ago. But I'm the same. Probably I'm the same person, I say. Maybe we know each other. Oops, I'm saying too much, right? Please, there's a
Yeah, I just wanted to pick up on the last lady's comment, because I felt it was very intimate what you did, the way you went into the different people's lives. And it really felt intense and intimate. And I feel if you went into that same way into Marseille, you would find that. And I feel the scene right before the credits came right out of the intimacy, and you just showed it as a touristy city with everyone mixing together. And then all the secrets that you had revealed were no longer there, and it was just a hustling, bustling city, which is how you would see, say, Marseille.
Yeah.
But you then have to go into the fabric and get in there, and I think you did a marvelous job of that.
Thank you.
I really
The problem we must say that I don't speak French so well. And it's not a stupid thing, because I think it's important to know a city or to tell a story about a city. Is very important to speak a language.
Yeah.
So maybe I speak enough English to be the same with American city or port city or with America, because I've been living here 78 like my friend Ivan. But unfortunately I don't speak French enough. Maybe the next life, or maybe I have to speak French. They say that when you are getting old you have to learn something, so maybe I have to learn French, right?
Can I say a couple words?
Of course. Please.
My name is Mark. 2 months ago, I had the privilege of getting a tour of Genoa from Michela with my wife, Camilla. And I had seen the movie already, so tonight I'm seeing with new eyes. I walked those streets and I talked to some of the people in the movies. My first reaction to the film when I saw it the first time was that, excuse me, this film is very fragmented, maybe needs some editing. Watching it tonight, I realized it has its own flow, it has its own life. And maybe it was the wine, but...
There is a life for sure.
My second thought tonight was that maybe it's too long. And then I think, what should you cut out? The Harry Potter guy, the Ecuadorian hairdresser, the wonderful story of the lady who went out to the boats at night to the Greek ships and was fed the sailors herself. What would you cut out? Every bit is magical, and I believe, seeing it again tonight, you have to include everything. Thank you, Michela.
Thank you very much. Wow, I didn't pay him. I didn't know that he was going to say something so good. So, any other question? Yes.
Yeah, it's more a comment than a question, but a question is...
Whatever, even though your idea, I don't care.
Being an artist, you obviously are selective in what you want to portray of a city. Like New York City, you have interests. Your interests lie in that netherworld between in my opinion, between the outside and the inside, and the so-called normal world and the magical world, where things don't have a lot of rules.
The underground world.
And people are more accepting of others, and they also have their, idiosyncrasies. That's what makes it very special, and that's what makes it magic. But I think every city has this. You can go to a small city that has these levels. You choose that level and you do it very well. I never felt like any of these people were bad, or they were going to, they had any mean-spiritedness. Even the people who are doing the cult.
Oh, the cult, the scene, they all the with
you might think
the hood.
You might think those are like racist, but they're not. They're like Spanish monks, and it might have been back to Inquisition times, but it was, it wasn't about racism. But an American could misconstrue that because of but it was a fertility right?
Yeah.
Fertility.
But everything you see it happen in Genoa, or was offered me as a gift by these people, like the scene that you say with the hoods and everything. The people who do this all the time for themselves, they came to me and they said, we are willing to do it for your movie. And the only thing that I choose was the place. It actually lives in Genova, right there is Palazzo Ducale, or sono le prigioni di Palazzo Ducale. I mean the prisons of the Ducal Palace. And so all the view that you see of Genova, it's a very special view. The only thing that I choose was the place. but the ceremony, let's put it this way, has been done exactly how they wanted it, for the reason they wanted it, and everything. And I think thank you very much for what you said, because Genoa is like this. Please, next.
Okay, I have a question. I wasn't quite sure in watching the film what the older Genoa residents were blaming on the change in the culture, because there were some parts where it was said things started to change when the different ethnic groups
Yes.
came in.
Well, what is the story is that lately, as rightly so this friend says, there have been many changes in the world, and of course also in Genoa. So things have changed a lot because there was a new immigration, and especially an immigration from Africa, and immigration for colored people could find a way to live and everything. So that's probably is something new. But I still believe that the same thing happened 2,000 years ago, 500 years ago, and especially in Genoa, the multicultural, the multi-religion, the multi-social aspects that we had at that time are still alive today. So I don't think that the world is really experiencing such a big difference. Probably the difference is because we talk more about it, there is more media about it, there is a lot of other reasons why we know more killing or this or that. I think that happened, let's say, 450 when Genoa was big. I think that was happened also at that time. I think. Prima lui.
So I have a question about like use of language. Well, it's a very small point. You shot a scene in a restaurant, and I think it said Latin food and Arab food, or Latin, like both were. I think I might have read it wrong. This is my question. Like it said, is it justo, Latino justo? Or
No, I don't remember about the food.
Gusto latino.
Ah, gusto latino, l'ecuadoriana. Well, no.
So that's like South. So they're saying it's
Yes,
Ecuadorian.
probably there are more. Actually, there is a large community, as I said to you, yes, right, of Ecuadorian that is about 35,000. Ecuadorian. Nobody knows why there are so many Ecuadorians. Like when there was the World Cup and there was the Ecuadorian play, it was like it was in Italy or Genoa. Oh, Sampdoria, who are my enemies. But anyhow, and the food is a part of culture, of course.
So is it,
So-
do they use, it's kind of a stupid, like when we say Latino in America,
Yeah.
obviously it's referring to Latin Americans. Do they use the term Latino in Italy to refer to Italians? You know, like the
No, Latino,
Lats?
when he said Latinos, is people from Spain or from South
So
America.
they don't use it as
No, it's not either Latini, like the 12,000 years ago in Rome, or Latina, that's right? I think so. So that's you?
Yeah, why didn't you also show some of use the contrast of the city? For example, in the ghetto, I thought at a certain point you were going to enter into San Filippo Neri and show like the beautiness inside of these buildings. I think one of the most fascinating part of Genoa is this contrast between what's outside and what's inside. And I missed part of that story. Like those churches around the ghetto are incredible. And I wish you could get a little bit of that in.
That's a good observation. Is actually maybe the next movie, but the Gates of Genoa. The one thing that is amazing to me is that there is a scene of me picking up a valigia. And I opened a valigia, and we didn't show anything inside. And really nobody asked me about the valigia. So my next movie will start with the valigia. I have to invent something that is in the valigia, of course. But it's true. You are true. There are a lot of great buildings, and there is a lot of beauty inside. Probably I missed it, or personally maybe I was less interested, or maybe I assume that it's obvious, but probably not.
I can answer that. Having been guided around Italy by Michela, I know that having been a tour guide for many years, he's seen the inside of enough churches.
Thank you. Thanks.